Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about design and graphics. Design and graphics are essential for brightening up a copy and its readability. The subject expert for today's program is Professor N. Sarkar, former Associate Professor in Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi. And I am Sakshi Mandwal. Objective. After viewing this film, you will be able to understand the concept of design and graphics, know the planning process of graphic design, identify the various design elements, their characteristics, significance and function, gain insight into the process of visualization and conceptualization, conversions of the design elements to form a design. What is design? Design is a structure or form of any man-made environment. Design is also a plan for creation of a structure like construction, fashion or business of any kind. It can also be defined as a roadmap or a strategic approach for something or someone to achieve a particular goal. All of you are involved in designing something or the other in your day-to-day life. You design when you dress yourselves up. You design when you arrange the furniture of your drawing room. You arrange the sofa set and center table in such a way that these do not obstruct free movement in the room. At the same time, you try to ensure that the arrangement looks aesthetically pleasing. Consciously or unconsciously, you are designing while taking notes in class. Look at your notebooks. It shows that you have indicated important points in capital letters with occasional underlined sentences. You have left white space in and around for easy access to running notes. You may also make crude small sketches to support the points of your notes. These are all parts of design. What is graphic? Graphic is a part of design. Thus, it is a graphic design. Main function of a graphic design is to enhance a communication message by manipulating images, either typographic or visual or a combination of both. Take the example of a rectangular photograph in which images are formed blending number colors with their different levels of tone and shades. Such a picture is termed as continuous tone picture. It is not graphic. The moment it is altered by eliminating some unwanted contents of the picture, it is called graphic. Notice how the main content is enhanced by this manipulation. Letters you are typing on computer screen is the work of graphic, as letters, words and sentences are formed by the manipulation of keyboard command. Pages of a magazine you are making on computer screen using types and pictures and their arrangement on the page logically is also graphic. Here, computer creates a creative graphic environment that allows you to manipulate the letters in terms of size, width, way, posture, etc. and cropping, scaling with various effects of pictures. Ultimate purpose of these manipulations is to create an effective communication message. In short, graphic is the product of the search for visual solution of man's communication need. What is common of design and graphic? Whatever may be the forms of design and graphic, the common component of these are layout. Layout is a plan for any design. Can you construct a proper house without an architectural plan? How can you design a tour program to visit a foreign country without systematic planning? In graphic design context, it is the systematic arrangement of design elements on paper or computer screen. These elements are pictures, types and colors. Pictures include photographs, drawing, painting, charts, graphs, maps, etc. Headlines and text matter are formed by the types, whereas pattern, lines and areas are filled with color and tone make graphic shapes. The main purpose of this exercise is to lay them out in a pleasing functional order. From idea generation to the finally produced design, layout passes through various stages. The first stage of layout is thumbnail sketch or idea getting sketch. This stage of layout can be handled by anybody. An advantage of this layout is it is economical, it is time saving, and it helps in getting more ideas. Developed thumbnail sketch is rough layout. A skilled professional handles this stage of layout. It is normally used for presentation to the client and serves as a positional guide for the other professionals like the printer. A rough layout may be overly rough or finished rough, called working rough and finished rough respectively. The working rough is a hurried guide for the professionals, and in finished rough is indicated accurately image position, color, etc. The very finished rough is comprehensive. It is complete in all respects and looks exactly as it will be after printing. Elements of graphic design. An understanding of design's diversified elements is essential in order to develop a graphic design, appreciate or criticize it at higher levels. We can divide them in three categories: letter form, pictures, and color. Letter form. Written messages are formed by letters of alphabets. The letters normally used in graphic design are standardized, known as typographic letter form. These are standardized as letters. Physical structure remains same throughout a type composition, unlike calligraphic and painted letter form. Letter images are called typefaces. These are available in thousands of design variations. Each one has its own style to contribute to the aesthetic aspect of type composition. Since there are so many, these faces have been divided into 4 groups to facilitate identification and to use them suitably in design. Most commonly used group is Classical Roman. Face style of this type group is thick and thin strokes with serif, a short line attached to the main stroke. Castellan, Palatino, Times Roman are some of the families of this group. Face style of this group is appropriate for long reading text like book, newspaper and magazine. The next broad category is the lineal group. The term lineal used for this group for its very even body characteristics. The strokes of this style are without serif, also called sans serif style. Helvetia, Avantgarde are the families of this group. As the style resembles modern way of writing like ballpoint pen, unlike writing with nibs used in ink pen, is considered the modern type. Fancy is the third group. As per the nomenclature, the strokes of these letter form are decorated and not having any clear-cut characteristics. Type styles of handwritten is fourth group, resembles calligraphy. The fonts are Murray Hill, Legend and Zap Chancery. Main function of the type composition is readability. For the purpose of reading, there are 3 categories of faces. First is the text matter, type size ranging from 5 to 12 point, which constitute the main typographical composition. The second is display matter, faces more than 12 point up to 72 point, used mainly for heading and subheading. The third is poster, above 72 points, to attract attention. Remember, types are measured by a special scale called pica scale, and its unit of measurement are points and picas. 72 points or 6 pica is equal to 1 inch. Legibility or clarity of letters is one of the readability conditions in design. The factors that determine the legibility are appropriate font style and size, length of line, thickness of letters, the way composition occupied the space, color of the letters, etc. Visuals. Visuals are the illustrative elements of a graphic design and often called illustrations. The primary function of an illustration is, of course, to attract attention and to provide additional information not communicated in the text or facilitate easy understanding of the content. Today, illustrative books, magazines and newspapers are the part of our daily life. Big size pictures and various physical forms with striking colors are living proofs of their importance and communication. An illustration can be developed in various ways with the help available of tools and techniques. One can draw or paint an illustration with conventional pen and brush. We may call them hand-drawn illustrations. Photography camera and various computer tools used in altering physical forms of pictures develop photographic illustrations. Instant images are ready-made copyright-free illustrations. These are available in books and catalog or with computer software. The illustrations drawn and painted by computer tools are called computer-generated illustration. The illustration drawn or painted conventionally or photographed and taken into the computer is also called computer-generated illustration. For the purpose of illustrating a message, photograph is the primary choice of a communicator. It represents real life. People tend to believe photograph more than any other form of illustration. The sayings, "seeing is believing" and "camera never lies" reinforce these beliefs. In modern graphic communication, credibility of this saying is always in question due to large-scale digital manipulation, but often helps in creating fantastic image which would have been impossible to click. A photograph of an event or happening is much more effective than the hand-drawn. News editors choose some aspects of an event, excluding others, to put across a point of view. Advertisers set up completely imaginary situations to fabricate a dream to which they would like us to aspire for. Corporate houses select only certain events for display for their image building activities like in-house journal, visitors' room, etc., so that the image of the house is perceived as a happy, united and caring one. Each physical form of photograph performs different types of functions in a design. Some are for precise information, some for mood and meaning, and some may be simply for look. Illustrations like painting, pencil, drawing can be created closer to the photographic effect. They are called continuous tone image because the image is formed by various tones blending with one another. Since the hand-drawn illustrations have greater freedom of expression of ideas, several dynamic effects can be created when the color wash is combined with line drawing. These days, illustrations published in magazines and newspapers in the form of information graphics explain various aspects of event or happening. Since the photographers were not there at time of murder committed or the train met with an accident, the illustrator on the basis of the facts can imagine and draw to satisfy the target audience. In our multilingual society, where nearly half of the population is illiterate, illustrations play a role of instructor for many consumer products with minimum textual elements. Illustrations take the form of charts when the communicator wants to convey complicated statistics. Charts are made in a more interesting form as pictograph. Maps are another acceptable visual form that guide the reader to a place of travel or locate a place of particular interest. Cartoons are for humor and entertainment. Some artists have specialized in this area of visual form. Children's favorite reading material is the comic strips. Even grown-ups enjoy browsing through them. Color. We see the world in color. It may be natural or man-made environment. Behind the entire color source, it is light that matters. Color is an important element of a graphic design. It has got maximum attraction value. It can create right atmosphere, provide easy understanding of the message. Color produces physical reaction by psychological sensation. One feels cool in blue shaded room and warm in a brightly colored room with shading of red and orange. Color also provides instant information. On the road, we stop at red light and move on when it changes to green. It can incorporate some conscious association and has strong retention value. Green is always associated freshness of vegetable, whereas yellow remembered to identify a pack of Maggi noodle. To use the color efficiently, one should understand the ways colors are viewed, response to images in color, color scheme. The color is anything dependent on the types of light sent to our eyes. There are millions of colors in the light. An object looks colored because the light falling on the object absorbs all the colors of light except the one we see. So that a package appears red because it absorbs all color and reflects red light. All colors, however, can be created. Some basic colors are known as primary colors. Red, green and blue are the primary colors of light. Red color used in printing the package is pigment color. In printing, cyan, magenta and yellow are the primary colors of pigment. Adding black to these primaries makes it a set of CMYK. Human response to color is emotional, has effect of physical reaction. Social background, age, sex and value, attitude, taste, etc. of people play a role in responding to color. Symbolic response to color is arbitrary, differ from culture to culture and place to place. Colors are considered good or bad only in combinations that reflect the purpose of the design. A color wheel consisting of 12 identifiable colors: yellow, yellow-orange, orange, red-orange, red, red-violet, violet, blue-violet, blue, blue-green, green, yellow-green, provide a foundation of basic color scheme. Their accompanying companion colors can give infinite range of suggestions. Each one can create different moods, meaning and contribute to the final design. Combination of blue, green and yellow-green create harmonious cool effect, whereas red, orange and blue has contrast attention getting effect. Visualization and conceptualization. The creative process begins with visualization. It is basically a mental picture of the concept of the design message. The concept processed in the brain in a number of ways which solves the particular problem of the design being handled by people. They are able to think in terms of picture images as well as in words. This process is called visualization. At this stage, only different ideas are collected without translating them into a visual form on paper. An idea may come from any member of the team that is handling the design. He or she may be an artist, copywriter, executive, or even the vice president of an organization. If an executive is creative, he or she can visualize the design better than an artist. Despite the fact that the artist has the necessary skill of drawing and painting, he may not necessarily have the creative ideas or problem-solving abilities. In general, an artist can express the idea of the design in literal form, though it may have been visualized by somebody else. However, the artists with creative ideas are in an advantageous position in visualization. They hold senior positions, they add agencies, and are often called art directors. For small size organization, in most cases, the proprietor or client himself visualizes the design and takes the help of artists and other professionals to do the job. Start the visualization process by noting the different problems on a big size of paper, which can be hanged and flipped on a whiteboard. Then shortlist them. Invite appropriate suggestions for headlines. This may be followed by the visual. The visual may come first and the written material later. There is no approach in visualization which is considered as the best. It is expected that the copy chief suggests the headline and the art director the visual. At this stage, they are all creative people. So note their ideas on the flip sheet or the whiteboard. Throw these open for discussion. Each member of the team will appreciate or criticize and react to the ideas of others until they come close to the desired goal. Visualization may be a group effort or an individual work. In the group situation, it is termed as a brainstorming session, in which each individual throws up ideas that stimulate the subconscious mind of the others. Ideas beget ideas. That encourages the members to come out with better and more effective ideas. Their imaginations are then shared by the group and there emerges a composite idea to solve the problem. Some organizations rely on an individual's talent. Some creative people also feel comfortable working alone or only with professionals who will translate their ideas into a design. In an advertising agency, such individuals are called visualizers. Conversions of design elements. Concept of the design visualized the various elements that go into making a graphic design have been examined. You can consider them putting together in a complete layout. Where do you begin? Start your design by thumbnail sketches or miniature layouts. These layouts bring forth ideas, save time, prove economical, and even help try several approaches. Select the best thumbnail in developing a rough layout and then design. Divide the space in subtle forms of rectangles, which will allow you to allocate the visual elements in unity with endless possibilities. Some of the elements may be placed within the rectangular grid, one or two in other shapes. That makes for dynamism and liveliness. Draw the grid lines on your layout sheet by pencil. The lines being so light will not disturb the elements of design being arranged. In case you are using computer to develop your layout, use the guideline from your software options. These lines can be removed when you have completed your layout or retained for further alteration. Allow the text to fill the column grids. Size, tone, texture and edges. Some are very distinctive and separated from other elements, some are subdued or vague. Combination of many elements sometimes creates a major element. Select a predominant display element. Place it along with other subordinate elements. Do this logically, maintaining the proper visual sequence. Select the picture skillfully by sizing, shaping and toning in subtle proportions. In the case of handling type, break down the copy into forceful display units and text masses that will emphasize the important points of the message in a logical sequence. Though the ornamental and luxurious designs have their own place in graphic communication, yet simplicity transmits an idea more quickly than ornamentation. Ask yourself, how communicative is the design, and not how beautiful it is. The design can be potently effective by using less non-information bearing elements like border and graphic shapes, few type styles and equally few shapes and sizes of art. White space border, margins, graphic shapes are the non-information bearing elements of a design. Type composition, photographs, etc. are the information bearing elements. Emphasize design element or activity of the art or the word content. Initial fixation being not enough, make an attempt to bring the reader's attention to the rest of the design elements. Most obvious for this is the occasional bold typeface, varying width of copy block, superimposing lines and continuous tone art. Make the pictures gimmickry by various photo alteration techniques. Use them big enough wherever it is possible. Give due importance to color. Bright and contrast colors have more attraction value. Take care of movement of reader's eye on the design in a deliberate manner. Give motion or direction to a composition by variety, orderly repetition of some elements, and long horizontal or vertical elements. In general, eye moves from left to right to top to bottom, big to small, unusual to usual, color to non-color, unfamiliar to familiar. Harmonious type style, necessary content, appropriate color scheme and subtle placement of the elements make the design comprehensible. Choosing the number of elements in solving the design problem also lead to comprehensibility. Make sure that these are not too little or too much. When to stop working on design is an important decision in creativity. Make comprehension and readability your final approach. Let your design give the flavor of the key communication message, making for effortless understanding. Select proper types along with other visual elements to enhance the effectiveness and readability of the design. Handle both the visual and typographical elements together. Make sure one does not cancel the other. Clarity of type image, details of illustrative content, judicious white space, appropriate color scheme make the design readable. Summary. Design is a structure or form of any man-made environment. Graphic design is a subset of broad design concept. Main function of a graphic design is to enhance a communication message by manipulating images, either typographic or visual or combination of both. Plan or layout is needed to develop any form of design. In case of graphic design layouts, start from thumbnail or idea getting sketch. It may pass through rough or comprehensive layout depending on design requirement. Various elements are used in making a graphic design. Typographic elements are used for ease of reading and quick comprehension of message. These are in various styles, size, thickness and posture, and can be utilized effectively by studying details of their various features. Picture elements like photographs, drawing, painting, charts, graphs, maps, etc. are used to attract attention and to provide additional information not being communicated in the text or to help facilitate, illustrate the message. Color is an important element of graphic design. It has got maximum attraction value. It can create right atmosphere, provide accent and contrast to the design elements. Conversion of these elements gives the shape of graphic design. Some guidelines are available for logical arrangement of the elements. Before initiating any design approach, an idea or concept, it is to be visualized. It is nothing but a mental picture of the message to be communicated through design. Visualization can be done by a group of people or an individual. That is all that we had for you in this episode. Till the next time, it's a goodbye.